All right. Good morning. Welcome to Special School District's Lunch and Learn series. We're excited about this opportunity to learn together. Today, we will be learning with Georgie Donahue of Community Action Agency of St. Louis. She will share information about her organization, their services and programs, and how they may benefit our student population and the St. Louis County community. We welcome your questions and participation. And we also have a coworker monitoring the chat for comments. So please feel free to ask questions, but be very careful about not sharing specific information because this is a public forum. If you have to leave prior to this session ending, we do ask, or we do suggest you go back to the YouTube channel, Special School District's YouTube channel, where you can view this information at a later date. After we have presented this information and answered any questions you may have for Ms. Donahue, we will present you a few members of our staff that can further guide you to these supports and or services. So Georgie, thank you for being here with us today. And you are welcome to take over the presentation and share your screen. Thank you. You are currently muted.
Thank you for that introduction. Let me try and share my screen here. Is it up?
Yes, we now see it. You are up. All right.
Okay.
And I just wanted to give a disclaimer here. If we do experience any technical difficulty, we're going to give some space and grace so that we can wait a few minutes to make sure we can continue with the presentation.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate that. I may be the one having technical difficulties. Okay, so my name is Georgie Donahue. I'm the Director of Program Administration here at the Community Action Agency of St. Louis County, and are very appreciative of this opportunity to let all of you know about the different programs and services that we have that may be able to benefit some of your students, parents, program participants. So as a community action agency, we work with families that are at or below the poverty level. We receive federal funding. So our mission is to stabilize and enrich vulnerable households by instilling hope and creating pathways to empowerment. So our service area is the entire St. Louis County. We do not serve anyone in the city, St. Charles. Our funding only allows us to serve families that live in St. Louis County, but I believe that would be your same service area also as the special school district for St. Louis County. We are a nonprofit organization. We have been here in St. Louis County for over 52 years. There are 19 community action agencies in the state of Missouri, and between us, we serve every county in Missouri. We have a sister agency in the city called PCAC, People's Community Action Corporation. There is a community action agency in the St. Charles area. They are called NECAC, Northeast Community Action Corporation. They actually have a service area of 12 counties. And for another close one is Jefferson Franklin Community Action Agency. So we are the second largest community action agency in the state of Missouri. We're second only to Kansas City. So nationwide, we assist over 11.5 million people annually, and Castle serves over 40,000 unduplicated low-income families each year with our programs and services. So we have a variety of programs and services that we bundle. What's unique about our organization is we have so many of the programs and services right within our agency. So it's kind of like that one-stop shop model that was being promoted several years ago. But we do have a large variety because we have a variety of different funding sources. We have case management. We have a water bill assistance program. Our food pantry is now a drive-through food pantry. Because of COVID, we, like many others, have changed a lot of our programs, but completely contactless drive-through food pantry. We have rent and mortgage assistance. We have drug and alcohol education classes, which are now virtual. We have a Step Up to Leadership program, HighSET employment, a reentry. We give out air conditioners, weatherize homes. We have a farm, and we help with gas and electric bills. And I'm going to go into more detail on all of these programs, but this is just an overview of all of the programs and services that we can bundle. So when a household, a family comes to us, we can address more than just one concern or one issue that they may have. So our case management is customer centered. And, by that we mean that we start wherever the customer is at. We help them determine what their goals are, and we work to empower them so they can achieve their goals. And we are able to bundle all these different programs together to help people. We know that ultimately the way to move a family out of poverty or to stabilize them is education and employment. Those are the two ways to actually break that cycle of poverty. So we work with our families specifically in creating their goals to help them, increase their education or gain better employment. In the meantime, we can bundle these other services like food and assistance with their bills so they can actually focus on their education and employment goals. So we're not seeing people in person still. Our staff are in the building every day working, but we're not seeing customers in our building yet. But we use phone and email, chat, PandaDoc, Facebook, whatever works for the customer to reach out to them and continue to work with them during the pandemic. Our water program is right now we're in partnership with the Missouri American Water. They provide supplemental funding so we can help people that have disconnect notices, and we can assist with up to $250 to prevent the water service from being disconnected. Right now, the state is in the process of launching a new water program that was funded because of the pandemic through federal funds, and it's called LIWAP, Low Income Home Water Assistance Program. So that program has not started yet. It's going to be probably a couple of weeks before we can really start accepting application and processing them. But this program will allow people to get assistance with up to $750 annually on their water and or sewer wastewater bill. So if both bills are submitted at the same time, we would be able to assist with both. You can only apply one time per year, and it's a maximum of $750, but you do not need to have a disconnect notice for that program. So for people that may need more than the $750, we would be able to leverage our funds from Missouri American Water also if there's a disconnect notice, and potentially help with up to $1,000 on a water bill. All of these programs that I'm talking about have a contact phone number, so you could get more information. You could pass this on to your families, or if you yourself want to call and get more information. Our drive-through food pantry that I mentioned, we get the majority of our food from the St. Louis Area Food Bank. We get donations from them, and we also have USDA commodities. Food pantry food is not like it used to be. It's no longer tomato soup and green beans. In every food order, we have a variety of meat. We have fresh produce, either through the food bank or we grow it on our farm that we have in Spanish Lakes. We have milk and eggs and bread and vegetables, fresh fruits. It's just a whole variety of complete meals. It's whatever you get. It's we always have the meat and the side and protein. So people can come to the food pantry once a month and get a food order. It will feed a family of 1 to, depending on how many are in the family, they get more food bags, but typically our average family is 1 to 5. It will feed that family for 4 to 7 days with their food order that they get. They can either just drive through or they can make an appointment, either one. If they don't have an appointment and they are not a current customer of ours, we would give them an intake form that they would need to fill out on a clipboard. They can go park and then drive back through around and hand it to us, and we can give them their food. We have a rent and mortgage assistance program. That is probably our most program in demand right now. We have a variety of fund sources for this program. We can help with rent or mortgage, and we can help with up to 6 months of payments if it is past due. There is another program out there, Safer, that can actually pay 3 months in advance. We cannot do advance payments. We can only do up to 6 months of arrears in the rent or mortgage. We also, because when you're in trouble with your rent or mortgage, there's other things going on. So we have financial classes, for education classes that are online that we can refer people to if they want some tips on budgeting or cleaning up their credit. We also make referrals to our employment program if they're in need of different employment or new employment. And we work with individuals on their employment goals. And then, providing case management to help stabilize them. Goal is to prevent people from being evicted. And certainly we don't want the kids to be having to move to a different school or, living in a home without utilities or things like that. So, we bundle all these services together to help stabilize that housing situation for the families. This is an entrepreneurship program, is a relatively new program that we have. It's a 6-week hands-on workshop facilitated by a nationally certified entrepreneurial trainer and cover a variety of topics. We had launched this program primarily to work with individuals in our reentry program. So people that have a past history of incarceration, they have different barriers to getting an employment, and often starting their own business is a nice alternative for them because they may not be eligible for other employment, although everything's a little different now, as we all know, with COVID, and it is much more easier for people with background challenges to get employment at places than it has been in the past. But, nevertheless, we still, people that want to start their own business, we have this program. And we've just completed our first session and had people graduate. We're working with universities and different training programs to continue to provide training business plans that people may need to start their own business. So we're excited about this new program. Our drug and alcohol, our virtual classes, we have offered these classes for over 25 years. It's now a 6-week online drug and alcohol class. They can participate with their classmates, posting online with the facilitator. They also have one-on-one interaction with their case manager. And for many people, they are mandated by probation and parole or the court system to attend drug and alcohol education classes. This becomes a challenge for people that may not have employment, and how do they pay for it? All of the programs that we have here at Castle are free of charge. We serve families that are at or below, in most of our programs, at or below 125% of poverty. And the poverty chart is posted on our website, and we'll have that at the end of the presentation here. But everything that we do is free to our low-income families. All they have to do is register and start attending. We also have anger management classes. This is a 4-week online class run the same way as the drug and alcohol class. And again, we get the majority of our referrals from probation and parole or the court system, but these classes are open to anyone. You can sign up yourself, or if you know of someone that you think could benefit from these types of classes, anyone that meets the poverty guidelines and lives in St. Louis County is eligible to call up and register for any of our programs. We also have a Step Up to Leadership program that's being offered now virtually. And this is actually a curriculum that we developed with the University of Missouri. It is a 12-session curriculum, and it is geared towards our low-income families, community-minded individuals who really want to make a difference in their community. So we get a lot of participants who might be with their faith group. They're on some type of committee with their faith group, or maybe it's a neighborhood association. We work a lot with Head Start. We've had people that are involved in their PTA or PTO at their school that wanted more skills in running meetings. So it's all a hands-on. We're doing this through Zoom and chat features. It covers a variety of topics to serve on a committee or a board, everything from personality inventories to public speaking, diversity, conflict resolution, team building, grant writing. There are several sessions. 3 of the 12 sessions are on board structure, the committee structure, Robert's Rules of Order, those types of topics. And it's a really, it's a hands-on empowering experience. The graduates at the end, they give a 3-minute speech on what they're passionate about and what they want to do, go and do out in the community. And we provide them with the opportunity to apply for a mini grant of up to $500 to help them implement something that they want to see changed in their community. We have had participants that have started food pantries, mentoring programs. They've done bike safety presentations, first aid presentations, just neighborhood cleanups. Some have gone on to start their own nonprofit organization, just a variety of different skills that are brought out. A lot of people have a lot more skills and knowledge than they're aware that they have. And this program is designed to empower people and bring out really that the skills and knowledge that they have to share with other people. We also support HighSET classes, and we've done a series of 5 presentations with the special school district HighSET program. I think we have 1 more left. I think we've completed 4 of them, but it was the same presentation for the students and the teachers of HighSET, just to let them know of the services that we have available for them in this bundle of services, same as we're letting you know about. But one of the things that we do with HighSET, we provide case management. Now that they're back in class, we can provide bus tickets if they need them to get to class. And we will also pay for the testing fees, because we don't want those test fees, which have gotten quite expensive, up to like $250, I think it is now, for all of the sections. But we don't want the cost to be a barrier to somebody getting that HighSET testing fees. So if they're in a program right now, we work with the Rittner School District, and we're working with a couple other school districts too. So long as we're involved in providing case management and the family is individual is low income eligible, we can pay for those HighSET test fees. We also have an employment program where we look at, teach different things like how to find a job. Everything is about applying online now. So we talk about the computer skills, how to apply online, how to create your resume, especially for ex-offenders, how to approach your background challenges and explain those to the employer so they don't remain a negative. We have the virtual classes right now, and then we work with people one-on-one. We work with several different employers so we can make referrals for jobs. We also give out window air conditioners in the summertime. These are donated by Ameren and Heat Up Cool Down St. Louis for the elderly or disabled. We usually get 100 a year, and we disperse those to families that do not have air conditioning in their home. We have a weatherization program with the Department of Natural Resources. So this is a program that actually makes the home more efficient. We install in one of the doors, we go around the house and close up all of the doors and windows. We install this insert into one of the doors with a large fan in it. It actually creates a negative air pressure in the home by sucking out all of the air. And the technicians are then able to go around the house and monitor where air is leaking from the house. Often it's around the windows, they need caulking, or it's under doors to the outside. There needs to be some additional weather stripping. It may need insulation in the attic. Maybe the walls are not insulated at all and it needs insulation in the walls. Just wherever the air is leaking, it's a computerized system that will identify these areas. And we then work with a contractor to perform the work that is needed to reduce the infiltration into the home. We also do some health and safety measures. We look for carbon monoxide leaks. So checking the furnace and if there's a gas stove in the hot water heater to make sure everything is safe. We install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, and find that the average family saves over $437 annually. We spend an average of $6,500 on each home. And again, this is a free service to income eligible families. The income eligibility for this program is 200% of poverty or below. There is no cost, and you can be a homeowner or a renter. So if you are a renter, we of course have to get permission from the landlord to invest this money into their home. But we're increasing the value of their property by the measures that we're doing. We have a farm, as I mentioned earlier. It is up in Spanish Lake, which is a food desert. We have a half acre of land there, and we grow over 10,000 pounds of food annually. We have a CSA program, community supported agriculture, a share program where low income families can pay $12 a week for a box of food that is valued at least $20. And then we have sponsor members who pay $28 a week for that same box valued at least $20. So what they're doing essentially is subsidizing a low-income family every single week. And then low-income families also have the opportunity to volunteer 2 to 3 hours per week on the farm, and they could earn their food share for free. We're very excited that we have launched our STEM curriculum this past summer. We had 100 students a week coming to the farm in groups of 25 for this hands-on experience at our farm with the STEM curriculum. I think we have 4 or 5 different topics right now. That's also available not just to schools, but to any youth groups. The curriculum right now that we have is for kindergarten through 5th grade. The energy program is called LIHEAP. That's probably what we're best known for. This is where we can help families with their gas and or electric bills. We have a variety of fund sources, but there's one application for whatever they are. So the family only needs to fill out that one application, and then we will use whatever funds that they're eligible for that we can to address whatever their need is. Income eligibility for the LIHEAP program is 60% SMI state medium income, which is approximately 200% of poverty. So the first time people apply each year, they get a one-time grant of about $300. They do not have to have a disconnect notice, and it goes to their primary heat source. Once a household has been approved for the program, anytime after that approval that they get a disconnect notice for their gas or their electric bill, they only need to submit that disconnect notice, and we can make a pledge on it. We can pledge up to $800 in the winter for gas, electric, or combination, and $600 in the summer. The summer is electric only. We cannot do heat, gas bills in the summertime. So we have the EA, which is that basic heat grant. We have the ESIP, which is the crisis where you have to have the disconnect notice. And then we also have funds from Dollar Help, which are funds from Spire, Dollar More from Ameren, Keeping Current, Spire Affordability Program. These are all different fund sources that if the family has a large bill and what we can pledge through the LIHEAP program is not enough, we will leverage some of these other fund sources. If people have a really large bill, like that's where Keeping Current or the Spire Affordability. So we would make a pledge to decrease the overall amount of the bill, and then the utility company would take the balance and they would spread it out, put the family on a payment plan and spread it out over 12 months to 18 months. And every month that the family makes a payment on their bill, then let's say it's a 12-month plan, when they make their payment in the first month, then the 12th month is forgiven. When they make the payment the second month, then their 11th month is forgiven. So when it comes down to the end of it, the family is actually paying only about half of what was initially owed. And the premise there is to encourage people to pay on their bill monthly, so they're getting rewarded through these programs that Ameren and Spire have by forgiving some of the debt that they have, trying to build good habits in people. Clean Slate is another program. Actually, Ameren, we're going to have a training session on that tomorrow. This program is offered occasionally. They're going to be starting that up again. And it's a one-time payment where they will reduce a great deal of the person's bill. Usually it's 500 or 750. It kind of just depends on what they have funding for at the time. And then there's Heat Up, Cool Down St. Louis. They also provide us funds that we can leverage to help people with their bill. If anybody has any questions or more information, this is my email here. It's a lot easier to email than to get me on the phone, because I do respond to emails pretty much 24/7, and I can send additional information. We have a website here. There's applications for our LIHEAP program, our rent mortgage program, the water program that are available on our website. There's also charts that explain the poverty levels and just more about all of our programs. But certainly if any of you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at my direct email address right here. So if anyone has any questions, I would love to answer them for you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Georgie. We did get a couple questions in the chat box, and one of them, and I think you may have answered it, but is the best method for us to actually complete an intake per program? And then as you guys do the intake for that program, if you see a need for an additional program, do you support the family in getting access to that?
Yeah, so that really kind of depends on what the initial program that the person applies for is. If people are first, they've sent in the LIHEAP application for the energy assistance. We process over 15,000 unduplicated applications for energy assistance every year. And when you count the duplicated people that come back with the disconnect notices and for additional assistance, it's closer to 20,000. So unless the family indicates that they need help with something else on that application, then we would just process that energy application. But if they come in for food or if they come in for rent or mortgage, then we would, we do that intake that goes into our system, and it asks more questions like what are other issues that you may have in the home, and it gathers some basic demographic information too, if they're currently employed, the highest level of education obtained. So that gives us the opportunity to have more of a discussion with the family and see more what's going on with them, if they are in need of employment or other types of services. So pretty much if for LIHEAP, unless they make us aware of something else, we're just trying to process those applications as quickly as we can to keep people's utilities from being disconnected. But if they come in for housing or food or anything else, then yes, we do ask more questions and try to bundle those services if they're interested.
All right, thank you for that. We have one more question, and that question was about case management services. Can you give us a brief description of what that looks like at your agency?
Yeah, and again, that depends on, the person in the program that they enter on. So everybody that applies for rent and mortgage assistance is applied for assigned a case manager that, they're in contact with. We're making suggestions about employment, financial education, check to see if they need food or help with their utilities. And just employment, it will go to the extent that the family is interested in. And that's pretty much all of our case management. The family needs to be interested in having case management, having that wraparound services to continue after, we have paid their rent or mortgage, or it's very common in our reentry program. It's really common in our employment program. We're also a HUD counseling agency. It's very common with that program. Again, we're seeing the volume that we're seeing with our rent and mortgage program. And a lot of people have been thrown into this because of COVID, and they're behind in their rent or mortgage because of COVID. Now they're back working and may not have other issues. So again, it just depends on what the family wants, but we're certainly make it available and let people know that it's available if they want to continue to work with us and receive additional services.
Thank you so much, Georgie. We really appreciate all of the information that you've shared. Georgie has provided her email to us for use, and I'll just give her just the accolades because she always responds to me and she helps supports our families whenever I contact her. So thank you so much. As we conclude the presentation for today, I also wanted to share with you a couple of people in our district that can also help you access the applications and or support that any family and or student may need. And those individuals, Georgie, can you stop sharing for 1 second? Those individuals are here with us today also. Meg, we can start with you, and then Ms. Fox. That would be great.
Sure thing. My name is Meg Rivera. I am the social work effective practice specialist here at SSD. I work with Jennifer Beavers, who's the other social work EPS. I serve as one of the technical administrators for the SSD social work department. Our district employs over 100 social workers throughout St. Louis County, and I can help connect you with a social worker assigned to your student's school or help you navigate resources such as the wonderful one that you just heard about. Oh, and you can reach me if you want to call at 314-989-8444 or via email at mlovera, Lovera at ssdmo.org.
Thank you, Meg.
I'll just add too that I'm happy to be the point of contact for any of you as staff members. If you want to refer a family, or if a family has applied for a program and they haven't heard something, which happens with the energy program, we start accepting applications for the general public November 1st, and we'll have 5,000 applications on November 1st. So unfortunately, we cannot work every application on that first day, not even that first week. So if you have some families that you're working with and they say, I have applied, I haven't heard anything, I am happy if you want to contact me. I will research and find out the status of their application. We don't want anybody to get lost. Some of these programs, though, we receive such a volume that we can't give the immediate assistance that we always want to. That's happening with rent and mortgage right now, and with the energy program. I think it's probably going to start with the water program once the state launches that new program. But pretty much everything else, food, drug and alcohol, anger management, we're very quick to respond. But those programs that see the large volume, again, it takes a little while, but I'm happy to be your contact if you want to shoot me an email.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Elizabeth.
Thanks, Adrienne, and thanks for having us here. My name's Elizabeth Fox, and I am with the Parent Education and Diversity Awareness Program at SSD. We are here in a nutshell to help families navigate their child's education and also any outside resources that can help their student or the family. So like Meg said, we do a lot of the same things, but we do different things. And we're always willing to help anyone troubleshoot a problem, find a resource, or navigate any sort of issue that they have. You can reach us at SSDPEDA, that's PEDA, at ssdmo.org, or at 314-989-8460. Thanks, Adrienne, and thanks, Georgie.
Thank you all. I am Adrienne Eaglin, and I am the Family and Community Outreach Manager. I can also be reached at familyengagement@ssdmo.org, or by contacting me at 314-989-8311. Again, Georgie, we want to thank you so much for offering your expertise and information to our district, to our families, and our community. Thank you for all your service. And this concludes our presentation for today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.